Robin, it is a beautiful morning. It's interesting, when it's rained for like 2 weeks straight, you're like, man, it's raining so much. I wish we could get outside. And then there are days where it's just like, isn't that a microcosm of the Christian life that just we need refreshment, that we need that morning dew? It's almost like we need an excuse to just kind of go. And so good morning to you guys. Good morning, Jim. Morning, Sarah. Morning, Scott. Morning, Miguel. Ron. What's up, big brother? Cindy, Rob. Oh, guys, it's so good to see you this morning. Good morning, Brian and Gail. Are you guys back? Good morning. Oh, friends. Happy Tuesday, Sarah. You're off. It's Wednesday. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, Lori. Oh, guys, I've been praying, and maybe you should pray this as well, just for refreshment. It's like the end of a long day, just that shower. In fact, I was talking with a counselor recently that just talked about part of building these rhythms is the way that he said one of the most important things is the way that we go to sleep and the way that we get up in the morning, meaning most of the time we go to sleep staring at our phones, kind of trying to think through what do I have going on tomorrow. And so like we go to bed with just our brain hasn't gone to rest yet. And so he talked about drinking just a warm cup of tea. He talked about ordering there's this stuff that's collagen sleep that can just help kind of put you calm at ease. He talked about a warm shower or bath, just those things that cause us to rest. And then in the morning, I know that this sounds counterproductive, but getting up 10 minutes earlier than you think you should so that you don't hit your feet running, right? Have you ever felt like that like your feet are already doing this and then you hit the ground and take off? And so on a day like today where it's just wet and dreary outside, you almost kind of feel this like, it's okay. It's okay to do a crock pot meal today. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to let my mind come to rest. And in that, I think it just speaks to maybe our just anxiety, our propensity and the way that we've conditioned our minds, our hormones, because the human body is insanely complex, but then it's also insanely repetitive. Breathe in, breathe out. Pump in, pump out. And so we have to bring our minds into mindfulness or awareness or consciousness, depending on your background and what word you want to use, but it's basically to come to attention. And in that, ultimately, that we want to pay attention to who God is and what God is doing. And this morning I was reading Psalm 40, and David says, Lord, I've waited and I've waited and I've waited, and I feel like you finally have answered. And my heart trusts in you, and I desire to do your will, what's hidden in my heart. And it made me just kind of sit and think, all that comes after or in the process of David waiting. Like I just want God to give me a to-do list, or if he just wants to say, hey, here's what's going to happen, which the irony of that is continually in the word, Jesus tells the disciples and God tells us what's going to happen. And yet we act like if he would just I don't really care about eternity, God, but if you could tell me about tomorrow, isn't that weird how my mind and our minds work? But it's in that waiting that we actually come to know. It's in that waiting that maybe it's exposed to us just that we want something. We want the end of the sickness, the end of the drought, the end of our wondering if God's going to provide. But it's in that process. And so praying for that for you and for me today. We've got several of you posting just some different things for us to be praying for. Jack and Barb will definitely be praying for your brother, and so sorry to hear about that, and know that Jesus is with him and that he's not surprised by his condition. And isn't that such comfort that it's in the waiting that we can have confidence because we know who holds us in the waiting. And so friends, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for walking with me, and maybe today just we can remind ourselves that we're not called to walk at a faster pace than grace. And so God, thank you. Thank you that in the middle of the week in a just whatever Wednesday, that we don't have to worry about who holds us. We don't have to worry about why you hold us, God, because it's not because of anything that we've done or any sacrifice that we make or anything that we conjure up or something that we can control that makes you happy, that you're happy just because you made us, that we're yours, that you've called us by name, that we once weren't a people, but now we are a people, God, that there's nothing that can separate us. God, I pray over and over again the constant encouragement, assurance, and safety that your word reminds us of, the truth that it tells us. And so, Father, I pray that in a world that just screams fear, hoard, fight, avoid, get yours, that instead, God, we would say, no, 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 no. My heart trusts in the Lord. But God, I still am those things. So be gentle with me, please. Be gentle with us. Bring us along slowly, tenderly, but intentionally. We love you. We thank you for loving us. And it's in your Son's name I pray. Amen. Love you guys. I'm praying for you. Pray for me. Pray that you have an awesome day. Can't wait to see you guys on Sunday, prepping for that. Thank you so much for just the different cards that several of you have sent recently, the encouraging notes. Love to hear just stories how God's working in your life. And so please keep those coming in. Talk to you soon.